Happy Thursday. Just how is everything? How's life right now?
Really good, thank you. Yeah, it's been a bit crazy since the fight on the weekend, but yeah, it's good.
I can imagine. I can imagine. I mean, any crazy celebrations? How is this immediate aftermath been exactly?
I mean, social media wise, it's been a little bit crazy,
Okay.
but other than that, I was like straight back to the gym, and I'm kind of like I always use this week of my fight like to catch up on, meeting with sponsors and like sorting my books out, my taxes, things like
Yeah.
that. I can just get all the horrible stuff done for this week, and then yeah, celebrate after that. As long as I'm eating good food, I'm not too bothered.
All right. Yes. As long as you can find some time to appreciate it, because you got to let it soak in sometimes, I think. But that's just me.
I try, but it's the job's not done yet, right? Obviously, I've got
Right.
the five left, so I'm kind of just like thinking about that for now.
Yes, always a lot going on. But of course, congratulations on this great win. Another awesome finish. I mean, just killing it right now. Obviously, undefeated, all this good stuff going on. But I wonder, Dakota, like, where exactly would you rank this last one for you? Is it like every next win's your best win, your favorite win, that kind of thing? Or how do we rank this one, I guess, amongst all you have so far?
um, I am going to say that I really enjoyed this one just because I got a good 3 rounds out of it. Just under 3 rounds, and I know I like the finishes, and obviously it's better to get in and get out and not get injured, but I just really enjoyed it. Like, I think it sounds funny, but just to have like the corner work from my coach, being able to listen to them, what they say, because normally I finish in the first round and I don't get the instruction or anything like that. So for me was something that I really wanted, to be able to like listen and adapt. And as you could see in the fight, like my game plan changed a little bit as I got to round three. My distance was better, and that was through the coaching that I got each round. So it was really good to get that experience. Um, and I think just coming out of it, having had a bit of a fight, I was just super happy. So this is definitely one of my favorites for sure. Yeah.
Of course. And I mean, the finishing sequence obviously stands out. That was kind of like a video game kind of combo. I mean, how did that feel like pulling that off and then like watching it back, like, oh, damn, I did some pretty good work right there.
Yeah, honestly, like we've been buzzing. I mean, me and my brother, we work them shots that I threw and that I landed all the time on pads, and even in sparring, we've got like loads of videos of me landing it, and it was just crazy. Like it wasn't something that he said to go out and do there and then, but it was obviously just there.
Right.
Because I drilled it so much, and then to see it just come out in a fight exactly how we train it all the time in the gym was like we were really buzzing with it. So yeah, I was super happy.
Yeah, chef's kiss, no doubt. Very nice. And obviously, great atmosphere too in France. Like you've found a lot of places already in your career so far, Dakota. Like, was this the best one, best location wise?
100%. Yeah, the best crowd I've ever fought in front of. Honestly, one of the best crowds I've ever seen at an MMA show. It was wild. And I don't know whether it was because of the fighters that were on it or whether it was because, you know, MMA being allowed in that country is quite new anyway. So I don't know whether that's because of it or just PFL. Honestly, they put together such an amazing show, and the crowd was just absolutely wild in Paris. It really was.
Yeah, I think it's a big combination of probably all those things. So it's really cool to see these first couple events, and for you, like definitely something you're not going to forget anytime soon. So it's awesome, to get that get that in the book for you. So yeah, and just looking at the career again so far, Dakota, like what only one decision so far. So you've been really pulling through with the nickname, the dangerous nickname there, and finishing the opponents and all that stuff. I mean, first, I guess let's start with that. Like, I love nickname stories. Who gave you this? Did you give it to yourself? Is there a good story behind it? Where did it come from?
I mean, I come from a Thai boxing background, so a lot of people know me from there. And one of the coaches that I know in that sport in that area, he came kind of mentioned it first and said like, "Oh, you should name yourself Dangerous." And then it was mentioned a few times around people, and then next minute it was like the ring announcer was calling me out to Dakota Dangerous Ditcheva, and I was like, "I've not even agreed to this. Like, what the hell?" I don't even like this name. It's cringy, but now I kind of just run with it and just let it go. So that's where it came from anyway. One of the Thai boxing coaches.
All right, there we go. Yeah, the three Ds right there.
Yeah, triple D, the thing we said as well. So it works, to be honest. It sounds quite good, and people are caught onto it. So I've kind of
Yeah,
just run with it now. I've had to.
I mean, living up to it as well. So yeah, it is working out. But like just to go off that too, like how important is it for you to be a finisher? I mean, of course, you never want to go decision, especially when there's the crazy judges these days and you can't trust them, unfortunately. But like, just for you and entertainment wise, not just for yourself, but the fans and whatnot, like, how important is it for you to, really make sure you can put on like these great performances that you already have been doing?
Yeah, 100%. I think I mean, especially at my weight, 125, you don't see a lot of stoppages, right? The way like I've knocked a few people out or stopped body shot, like it's quite exciting the way I fight and stuff, which is not something you see all the time. So it is important for me to keep that up. And I think that's just coming from a striking background, that is why I'm, doing that so much. But I mean, people said to me after the show, like, oh, they've said to me a few times when I thought we needed that fight so much on the card, like, it kind of livened everyone up a bit. So I think my style of fighting is just quite exciting, but it's definitely what we need for sure. Because even like part of the first round, the crowd started booing when she was just holding me on the cage, and then the ref kind of started to break it a little bit when it was getting boring. So it is an entertainment sport. You have got to entertain, and if the crowd aren't liking it, then you got to pull something else out of the bag. And I seem to be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. And you mentioned kind of what the social media reactions kind of after this win, like has the support like with each fight gotten like more and more overwhelming, or like how are those feelings, I guess, just everything that's coming at you so fast, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely since I've been with PFL, like the social media and like the fans, and I feel like I've got a little bit of a Dakota fan base now, which
Yeah.
is so nice. Honestly, like when I see it on social media, all the nice comments and stuff, it really like makes you feel good. But yeah, it was just since signing with PFL, being settled in one promotion, I've been able to like, build up a good fan base and like be able to get my name out there a lot, and just like obviously the stoppages help, but just be able to like create a solid platform under one organization, which has been beneficial to me a lot, and it shows through the social media. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm this is a stupid question, I will admit it, but I still want to ask you, like, do you get like haters and stuff, because whenever somebody's doing so good, especially in MMA, it's like on top of the world, and it just takes one loss for everyone to turn on them, which is really annoying. I hate that. But do you get like much criticism and stuff? Of course, we're at the top right now and feeling all these good vibes, but I'm sure there's still idiots out there, right?
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't say I get haters like everybody else yet. I'm not
Yeah.
like a big time as I but no one's like the biggest critic other than me. So
Yeah.
like when people say bad things, I've already probably said it to myself already. And yeah, it's not nice to read, but um I think as they get more and more, I'll probably just stay off it. You know what social media is like these days. But I do get the odd ones, like the girls I'm fighting, you can never fight a tough enough person. Like people don't respect, if it's like my mum says to me all the time to remind me, like, you're making these girls look easy, when they're having other fights with people, they're getting like close fights, they're getting split decisions, but when you get in, you're like destroying them. That shows your level, not the fact that you're fighting bums. These girls are here to fight. They've got good records, they're fighting on good promotions, they want to make a career out of it like I do. It's just that I'm kind of going through them a little bit better than another person would, and people try and take that away from you a little bit, when really like you have to remember it just maybe shows my level a little bit rather than, you know, the who I'm fighting. So I just have to remember things like that. But, this is my journey anyway. And as long as it's, I'm doing the right thing, and, I'm getting better in the gym and my coaches are happy, then that's all I can ask. So,
Yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned that kind of about, how you're beating everybody and getting through them and stuff at kind of this stage, because it's like it feels kind of weird, I think, to say that's what you're supposed to be doing, but at the same time, it's like what you expect from yourself and how you want it to be as you're progressing, right? So when you look at it that way, I think it's even more dumb when people criticize that way. But at the same time, like I think it's good to take the career a little bit slower. Let's say if you are going to receive those criticisms of
yeah.
opposition, right? It's like we see so many times, especially I think as the sport is continuing to get older, where people rush a little bit. And for you, it's like still super young. There's no need to do that. So I'm sure it's like, keep yapping. This is it's gonna pay off even better, and it's just experience, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, like you said, people do rush. I've seen so many girls, like go in there and just like take silly risks, and then now it's like nobody knows them. Like I'm 25. These girls like that are up there at the top right now, like 30,
Hmm.
31. Like I've got plenty of time to like, get there. And I'm not in a rush, like you said, of taking what's right for me at the time. I'm staying humble with where I am, and at the end of the day, it's an entertainment and it's a business.
Yes.
As sad as that is, because we love to fight, it is a business, and people, the way this fighting world works now is different to how it used to be when my mum fought. They used to just fight the best and want to see good fights. Now it's more like, if you're not being entertained, we don't want you anymore. If you're not winning, we don't want you. So you've
Yeah.
got to be there at the level at the right time. And I feel like, with my mum's experience, I've got a bit of a cheat in the game of knowing just, where to be at the right time. So
Yeah, certainly helps and has been helping. So can't deny that. But yeah, you mentioned like the Thai boxing background too, and getting into the sport with the background. Like, was it from mom then in the beginning? Like, were you as early as you could remember wanted to get into punching people yourself? Like, how exactly did you fall into it, Dakota?
yeah, I mean, it's definitely from mum. She's had the gym since I was born, so I was kind of always been around it. I fought when I was like 4 years old, had a few like little kid fights and things. But if I'm being honest, I didn't want to do it. I didn't. I went into other sports. I didn't train until I was like 13, 12, 13. Completely just like didn't want to do it. My mum wasn't bothered about me fighting. She hasn't been bothered about me or my brothers doing it. And then I think then 12, 13, I got back into it myself. And it was like, I realised I was quite good because I was beating all the girls. Everybody else around me was like, this is Lisa Howard's daughter. She's very good. Like, and it just kind of kicked off from there. And then that was it.
Like, well, maybe I should try this out.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So what other sports were you doing then? Like if you never got into MMA, actually pursuing it like that, where you think we'd be now instead? I love asking people this question.
You know what? I honestly don't know. Definitely something quite physical because I'm like very competitive and very sporty, athletic. But I did gymnastics. I really love that. I was very good at that as well. But I did like football, netball. Like I was into all sorts. Honestly, you just could see me playing sports all the time. So definitely, I would have ended up at some kind of club or some kind of sporting journey for sure.
Right, right. Are people kind of surprised then, like when you tell them you're a fighter, like people you're meeting kind of for the first time rather than you know, obviously people who know you in the background and all that stuff? Because I feel like it's still, even though MMA is becoming more and more of a regular thing, like do you get people like, what? You do that?
Yeah, 100% all the time. I mean, even at PFL this weekend, I went for my medical after my weigh-in, and I noticed that the doctor was looking at me a little bit funny. But then after my fight, I had the same doctor checking me out to make sure I had no injuries, and he said to me, "When you come and had your medical, I couldn't believe you as a fighter. I was wondering what you was doing here." So honestly, like even people that are like close to working with fighters and things
Yeah.
like that, they don't think that's me either.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. Like, I mean, as you continue with the PFL too, Dakota, like, I think it's very clear, like, especially obviously for flyweight, like you're the star of the division right now, and especially as it continues on, next season is going to be very fun and interesting. And I think you could argue like right up there alongside, Kayla Pacheco, the champs, former champs, all that stuff right now, which is a great spot, especially for your youth, like we were saying there. But and along with being undefeated, like do you feel any pressure from these things, right? Because it can be a lot. We were talking about, of course, the reactions and stuff, but obviously great motivation too to kind of maintain that. But how do you kind of, I guess, not let that kind of be too much, I guess, too?
Yeah, the pressure's like it's good though. It's healthy, right? It's like it, for me, it's healthy. I thrive off being under pressure, so I actually perform better like that. But um, suppose sometimes it can get too much. Like I'm coming up slowly, and at the moment it's coming at a good amount. Like I'm learning new stuff each time. Like this time was like a bigger crowd, the biggest crowd I've ever kind of walked out to. So I feel like step by step, I'm like being prepared. But yeah, like the pressure of this whole tournament has been a lot, to be
Hmm.
honest. This is the first time I've done like such a big tournament, and normally I'm doing one fight, so it's like I fight, I win, and it's done. I'm on to the next.
Yeah.
This time it's like I haven't actually switched off. I've been like, right, the next round, and then even now, like this last week, I've been like not switched off. I'm still not done yet. The job's not done for me. I've got to win the full thing. I'm not like just thinking about, oh, I've won this one now and that's it, I can chill for a bit. No, like until December comes, I'm like pressure is staying right there, and I
Yeah.
feel like I'm adding each day. Like now I need that belt. Like I'm like so close to that belt now. It's like gotta be mine. So yeah, I think it's healthy though. It makes me train harder. It gets me up in the morning. Sometimes when I don't want to train, I just think, well, do I want this belt or not? Like, so things like that. It's good for me anyway.
Absolutely. Structure and all mapped out. Obviously a lot of people in sport are not allowed that luxury unless you're in the PFL. So it is definitely a very unique thing and has the benefits and the struggles too, I'm sure. But obviously next Valentina Scatizzi, right? That's who already lined up and ready to go there. I mean, how are you kind of comparing her to past opponents that you fought already? Kind of one of the more inexperienced ones as of late, only 3 fights, right? But of course, everyone has their own dangers and whatnot. But how do we
Yeah.
compare her next, Dakota?
Yeah, I think she's got to be prepared, right? She's seen me fight twice now in the tournament, 2 stoppages, so she's got to be prepared. Um, she obviously had a lot to say considering she got a bye. She didn't even fight in Paris, so like, she's not even fought properly for it yet. But yeah, I'm expecting her to bring a good fight. She looks confident. I've not really watched her too much yet, to be honest, but she's a lot shorter as well. So sometimes I feel like the shorter ones can be the more dangerous ones,
Right.
yeah, so they can come out of anywhere. But I'll be as I always say, I'll be expecting a tough fight. I'll always go in there underestimating no one, but I don't think she's on my level. I honestly don't think anybody can compete with me these days at PFL will pull in. So yeah, I'm confident. I'm confident.
Of course. And I don't want to use the word coping here because it seems out of place, but it's coming right to mind. But I say that because do you think that maybe the talk from her this quickly and early is because of the fact she got a buy? Like, kind of needs to do that to justify herself a little bit or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean she's not really like she's built up no hype this weekend because she's not fought. So like she needed something, didn't she? She needed to get in that cage and like she made me jump. Did you see
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
face off? Said boo and made me jump. And honestly, outside of fighting, I'm scared. Like I'm scared of spiders and everything. Like I'm scared of my own shadow. So anybody would make me jump. But but yeah, it just that annoyed me, and that's one thing she doesn't want to do. So now I'm like gonna be like all guns blazing when I go in there.
Oh man. Yep. I've awoken the beast. There we go.
Exactly.
I take it you're not big into like scary movies and stuff like that then, right?
I
Can't
mean,
handle them.
I'll watch some, but not on my own. That's for sure. I'm honestly scared of all sorts. Like I used to be scared of the dark. I'm a little bit braver now. I'm older, but I'm scared of anything. But put me in a cage to fight someone, or put me on the street to fight somebody, and I'll go like that.
That's so funny. I'm sure, man, you're probably glad that you didn't have to go when they were doing I think every time PFL's gone to New York, they go to like that skyscraper thing and have people stand up there. Would that be too much for you? I haven't been there yet myself.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be like trying to do it at the bottom rather at the
Yeah,
top
like, can we
rather than
just stay down here?
that'd be me.
Oh my goodness. Well, all right, Dakota. This has been great. I'm very glad to have gotten to chat with you. Looking forward to the next fight. But before I do let you go, I did want to ask one more thing about I think a mutual friend that we have. I just want to check because Jessy Jess, have you trained with her before? Because I think she mentioned you once, and I just wanted to ask like if you know Jessy and experiences with her. And I'm sure they're great stories, so I got to try and embarrass her a little bit whenever I can.
Yeah, I think, Jesse's one of the loveliest girls I've ever met in this sport. I was lucky enough to go over to CSA when I first travelled to the States to train. An absolutely amazing gym. The girls and the guys there are brilliant. But yeah, she was lovely. I can't remember whether she was in camp or not. I think she was. Yeah, she was. She was close to the fight because I went to Vegas at the same time as them and managed to do a little bit of training at PI with them and stuff. So I haven't got any like bad stories to tell about her. I haven't got any.
Darn.
So I'm not sure I'd give you them anyway. I'm too
Right.
gassy anyway. But yeah, they're lovely, and I was gutted because she was going to fight on Lion Fight. I was like
Yeah.
hoping to watch her, and her opponent pulled out. But it'll be good to see her make a Muay Thai debut. Like she's definitely going to be good at the striking. She's brilliant level. So looking forward to that. Yeah, when she fights.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be funny. I remember her telling me about, I think when you were over there and then Jack Della, I believe, and she was saying how like no one could understand any of you guys, just accents flying all over the place.
There was a right bunch of us. There was a real bunch. Yeah, we were all like different, and everybody laughs at the English accent. And obviously, Jessy's not American either, so
Yeah.
they they do take the mick when they can. Yeah.
Yes, always good times. So good stuff there, Dakota. But all right, on that note, I won't keep you any longer. I appreciate the time so much. I was really great getting to chat, Dakota. And of course, congrats again on the win. Congrats on all the success, the winning streak, undefeated, all these things happening for you, and the big next one. And yeah, maybe I'll get out to one myself soon. I'm planning to be on the championship, so be there for that. But yeah, a lot of things
Yeah.
going on. So thanks so much for the time.
Thank you so much.